Hello everyone, so for this reading we are looking at what part of your potential are you neglecting? Is there a gift, an ability, a strength or an opportunity within you that has so much potential but for whatever reason you haven't been fully recognising it or stepping into it? So the card you have is the Raccoon and Sycamore, Curiosity. You've got the Five of Pentacles, the Four of Wands, Justice and the Moon reversed. Now straight away I'm noticing how the Raccoon is looking directly at the Five of Pentacles. So to me it kind of feels like your attention has been so focused on what you don't have or what has gone wrong or what you've struggled with or where you're feeling kind of like you're lacking. With the Moon reversed here as well, I kind of get this feeling that some of you have stopped allowing yourself to be seen. It's like it's like you've questioned your own abilities. You've questioned whether you're good enough. You've questioned whether people will accept you. So instead of stepping forward and exploring opportunities or showing people what you can do, you hold yourself back and deal with everything alone. But when I look at the rest of the cards, they are telling me a completely different story, my darling. With the Four of Wands and the Justice, that's 11-11. So for me, this is showing the potential for things to come into balance, okay, with an angel number, the potential to create stability, the potential to build something, the potential to manifest something more aligned for you. But the problem is, it's like you're so focused on the Five of Pentacles energy that you're not seeing what you already have within you. You may be looking at what's missing instead of like looking at what you already have. And this is where, like as well, the balance theme is really standing out to me. If you look at the raccoon's balancing on the sycamore tree. You look at the Five of Pentacles, where the person's literally balancing and juggling the coins. You look at the Four of Wands, where the person's balancing the cane with skill. That is a skill. And then you've got Justice, which is, obviously all about, balance, okay? So the cards keep showing me that, really in a way, the same message. You have learned how to adapt. You have learned how to handle difficult situations. You have learned how to keep going. That, my darling, is a strength, okay? That is a skill. That is a part of your potential. But I feel like you don't always recognise it because you're so focused on the difficult parts of the journey. The raccoon, my darling, as well, is looking at the Five of Pentacles, not the Four of Wands, not the Justice, okay? The first tarot card that came out was the Five of Pentacles. And I just find it interesting because it's like the raccoon is looking at the struggle instead of, the success. The lack instead of the growth. The fear instead of the ability, okay? And this is where the curiosity card becomes so important. Raccoons don't assume. Raccoons explore. Raccoons investigate, okay? So it's kind of like, ask yourself, what have you dismissed before you've even given yourself a chance? What would happen if you became curious instead of critical? Because I feel some of you have allowed your current circumstances to define what you believe you're capable of. Maybe you weren't, or you're not where you want to be. Maybe you've experienced rejection. Maybe you've struggled financially, or you're struggling financially. Maybe you've gone through some situations that have really just affected your confidence. Okay, but the cards, in a way, it's kind of like they're asking, have you allowed this chapter of your life to become the story of who you are? I hope not, my darling. I really hope not. Because your circumstances are something you are experiencing. They're not who you are, my darling. Now, the Five of Pentacles is not saying you have no potential. It's actually showing that you have, I feel more than anything, that you've forgotten your own value. And with the Four of Wands, this card asks you to look back. What have you already achieved that you didn't actually celebrate? What have you overcome that proves you're stronger than you realise? What skills have you developed because of everything you've had to face and experience and live? Yeah? Because sometimes we're so focused we're so focused so much on where we kind of want to go that we kind of forget or acknowledge how far we've already come and what we have to face and experience, okay? Now, with the Justice card, I feel this is where you're being asked to be truly honest with yourself, my darling, okay? Justice asks, are you seeing yourself clearly? Are you judging yourself fairly? That's justice, okay? Because I feel the reason that this potential has been neglected, it's not because it isn't there, because it really fucking is, my darling. It's because you haven't been seeing yourself accurately. I feel like you really have been judging yourself through this fear, through past experiences, through projections possibly from others, through moments where things didn't work out. But justice asks you to look at yourself through truth. Ask yourself, I don't know, if you spoke to yourself the way that you would, would speak to someone you cared about, what would you see or say? Would you say you have no abilities, no strengths, or nothing to offer? I don't know, my darling. There's loads of shit you can say, the skills that you have. And this is why I love justice as well with the moon reversed. Justice wants truth, my darling. The moon reverse shows the illusions beginning to clear. I think once you start actually acknowledging what you've done and been and overcome and all that kind of shit that goes with it, those beliefs of you're not good enough, you're not talented enough, you can't do this, people won't accept me, will start to get questioned, which is good, which is what you want. The moon reverse as well, it's like it asks you, is this actually the truth about you? Or is this the fear you've carried or the projection you've carried? Because when those illusions start lifting, you really then start seeing yourself differently, my darling. You begin to recognise, you do have the strengths, you do have the abilities, you are able to, to survive, pretty much fucking anything, really. What you've had to experience and survive before, goodness me, yeah. And as well, you've rebuilt from it. So, my darling, you are capable of more. So going back to that question, what part of your potential are you neglecting? I feel it's your ability to believe in yourself and to explore what is possible. Not immediately dismissing ideas, not assuming you will fail, not allowing your current circumstances to decide your future. The raccoon, my darling, wants you to be curious, explore and ask questions. The Five of Pentacles, with it being here, it's like don't let your struggles to define you. Recognise what you've already created. See yourself honestly and fairly, my darling. Release the fears that have hidden your true potential. Because your potential, my darling, it's never been missing. It really hasn't. I just don't think you've been seeing it clearly yet. Okay?